Good morning, and hope you all have been well. And this is part 4 of the Flesh, Blood, and Concrete Let's Play. So yeah, I guess with that being said, let's go on ahead and explore the Flesh apartment, and let's go find Nika's family. It's cold outside, but it'll be warm and cozy in here, right? I'm surprised that the heating system still works. Of course, everything here is alive and living things are warm. You must be hungry, right? I brought a snack. Is it rotten? Nope. With an outstretched hand, she hands me a gingerbread cookie coated in powdered sugar. I take it from her and break off a piece. It's warm, soft, there's no blood, no misplaced sinew, however you pronounce that word. It tastes like gingerbread. She fixes her eyes on me. I avoid her gaze. You ate it. Do you trust me? I don't care if I die anymore. That's wrong. I look at her quizzically, silently, however you pronounce that word as well. Every night I climb to the roof to watch the sunset. Sometimes it's pink, sometimes it's golden, sometimes it's crimson, when the smog makes it so. I want to know what color it'll be tomorrow. Maybe it will be green, maybe blue. What I want to tell you, Lyra, is that you don't want to die. You only want to escape from suffering. You want to return to the womb. Endless happiness without interruption. That might, I guess, have something to do with why we're within the Flesh apartment, is what I'll call it for now. Maybe, I'm not too sure on that though. That's a fantasy. To live is to suffer, or to accept the possibility of future suffering. I think the one thing that Lyra is forgetting about, yes, crap happens, bad things happen all the time to many different people, and it certainly does suck, but with all of the suffering that happens, there's also good that comes out of it as well. I truly am a firm believer that without bad, there cannot be good. So, yeah, I just feel like it's just a part of the process for the majority of things. Anyways, though, that only becomes true when you push yourself away from others. Hey, Lyra, you're really scared of me now, aren't you? I really just want you to be happy. Tears cluster around her eyelashes. Her face is still red from before. You're a good person, so I want you to be happy. I'm sorry for being scary. She begins to wipe her tears with her sleeves, avoiding eye contact with me. What am I to say? Why do I want to comfort this thing that wants me dead? I mean, I don't think it really was ever confirmed that she wants you dead, was it? Was it confirmed? I don't remember that, honestly. Or maybe something of feed yourself to the wall or something, I don't know. I'm not too scared of you, Nika. You're lying. With that, she stands up, faces the other end of the dim hallway. Her face is still speckled with tears. Building B, room 102. When I grow up, I'll be on posters and in magazines, cutouts too. How are you going to achieve that? Well, I'll be really pretty and smart and work super hard and be nice to everyone. Do you think that'll be enough? Why are you ruining my dreams? Because you don't have any of your own. That's way too far. You can still pick something to believe in. You said you didn't have a future, but can't you dream of anything still? Sorry. I don't have a future because I'm dying in a labyrinth of my own hallucinations, kid. I'm sorry. Don't leave, please. I'm really sorry. Bro moment. I don't think she meant it in that kind of way. But it's more so her saying, it's not really too late for you. Of course, if you have the mindset of, I suck, I'm bad, I'm ugly, I ain't ever gonna make it, whatever negative thoughts that, some people put in their mind, then yeah, it's gonna be really hard for you to really achieve anything that you want if you have such a negative outlook on your life. I know I'm not necessarily like one to talk, but it's something that even I know is a fault with myself, and hopefully many people at some point wake up and understand that as well. That, again, if you have those negative thoughts in your head and you say those things to yourself 24/7, then it's hard to get motivated to get better and to do things that you want to do, whether it's a good career, getting into shape, better eating, I don't know, going out for a walk, or any other thing. When you do stuff like that, it's just something that kills your motivation. A dried up container of paints lies on the floor. Take it. Sure. We're pretty much taking everything anyway, so. Broken bottles and needles. Do teenagers from the city hang out here? Yeah, but I haven't seen them in a long time. Maybe that means that the wall got a little hungry. There's a lock on the door which requires a 6-digit combination. We have the combination. Let me grab my little post-it note. 4-5. Oh, I can't actually type it. 450762. Cool. Good thing we got those papers then. Now, what's really interesting is if you didn't get the code, you could continue on downwards, I believe. So it's really interesting. I don't know if this leads to any different endings by getting into the room, but yeah. Either way, good thing we did. Something strange happens when I step into the room. The heavy air that has pervaded the building thus far, ripped with mildew and rust, suddenly dissipates. That momentary sense of calm allows me to recognize how tired I am. Let's rest here for a little while. Did I think I hit the B button on accident. Let me redo that just in case. Alright, sorry about that. I know we already read that. Okay, I didn't skip anything. Let's rest here for a little while. Alright, sorry about that. I thought I hit the B button. I think I did, but I don't really know. The drawers won't open. Okay, so what's interesting is within a somewhat normal room, to be fair, I don't know if it actually is normal or not, but it seems like you actually cannot get anything. But with the other rooms that are more destroyed, the flesh is taken over, we can pretty much, pick up a bunch of like random things. But I don't really know what these items really do. Like we have we have a lot of them, but what do they do? I don't know. Hey Lyra, I have a question. It's a silly question, okay? Well, what is it? Do you know how to braid hair? You're right, that is a silly question. My hair's been short since I was a kid, so I only learned recently. I had a friend in university who taught me for her own selfish reasons. What kind of selfish reasons? I mean, she was too lazy to braid her hair herself, so she recruited me. Anyways, where did that question come from? I was thinking I want to change my hairstyle. It's really hard to do it on my own, so I thought you could help me. If you sit on the floor, I can try braiding it for you. It's been a long time since I've done this. It's been a long time since I've been close to another human being at all. My mind drifts to my mother, to being dressed up for school photos, attacked with a comb until I look like I stepped out of a movie. Hey, that hurts. I'm not even touching you. Well, it hurts. Hurts. Hey, you aren't crying, are you? I would have stopped if I'd known it hurt that badly. No, that's not it. It's not my head that hurts so badly. Lyra, I don't understand. Why did it take you so long to come here? Her words are punctuated by deep sniffles. You made me wait for so long. She quiet she's she quiets down, sorry, and ceases her sniffling, leaving me to dwell on her words in silence. I wonder if I could ever understand how long she's been here. I wonder how many seasons have come and gone in this virium of a childhood. So, I don't know, I still stand firm. It's gotta be somewhat of like a mental thing. I'm not sure though. This feels a little weird. You look older all of a sudden. It's pinching my brain, Lyra. You can take it out yourself. Let's go. Can we go back though? Let's see. Okay. I guess nothing else in here. What's this? Oh, nothing down there. Okay. Let's go in here then. What's that? A piece of chocolate? Oh yeah, I found it on the way in one of the rooms, sorry. It looks really tasty. Give it to her? Yeah, why not? Yes, thank you so much, Lyra. You're the best ever. The best ever, huh? I can't say anyone has said that to me before. Hey, Lyra, are you afraid to die, sorry? Yes, I'm terrified of it. I think that's probably why I started driving. I thought that I'd be able to quietly disappear this way, be swallowed up by a snowdrift, and be gone cleanly, bloodlessly. I couldn't accept the finite death. Are you afraid of it? My family told me that I won't die because they love me. I mean, could have something to do with the flesh within the wall. Maybe. But I don't know. I think death is a really like interesting idea and concept, and well, not like a concept, but like a real thing that does happen. Me personally, I don't think there really was ever a point, maybe when I was like younger, but definitely like as of now, I have like no fear of death at all. It's something in my mind that it's a normal thing that must happen. And I understand why people have a fear of it, but to me, it's just like, okay, you die, everything just turns to black, game over. It's somebody else's turn to play the game of life. And that may be, somewhat of a harsh way to word it, I guess, but it's just what's going to happen. Now, of course, there may be some people that believe in religion or reincarnation. That's totally fine. Me personally, I don't really want to, worship or be a part of a religion. I would say like I'm more agnostic as of now, and I believe in, I guess, like the potential of a god or gods or reincarnation, or I don't know, I guess aliens or whatever. There's so many different things that could have started all of this, but you can't really, of course, concrete proof what actually happened and why we became we. So, yeah, but either way, before I go down that road too far, I don't know. I never really had like a fear of it, and I really hope that religion and all that isn't true. I would much prefer everything just goes black, you're done, you're over with, and everything is said and done. That's what I would personally prefer, but everybody's different. And I'm not going to say that's right, I'm not going to say that's wrong. I'm just going to say everybody's different, and you do what you want to do. My family told me that I won't die because they love me. I learned about ants, and an ant colony, it's one single being. When an ant dies, the others eats its shell. That being continues living indefinitely. That ant's eye is dissolved and is used to build the eye of a newborn ant. The whole being is immortal because of those strong connections, that powerful love. So immortality is only achievable through cannibalism. What a funny story. It's just a metaphor. Do you like it? Do you think it would be nice to live indefinitely without fear, or what? Like that ant, resimated or resimilated, however you say that, into a larger being over and over until the end of time. It's peaceful. Someone ripped the buttons off the control panel. That's okay. I'll understand where you're going. I mean, like, it is like an interesting idea how life and death work. And I might go into a little rant later. We're here. But it's really, really cool how it all works. Hey Lyra, have you made lollipops, the ones that look like roosters? Not recently, no. My mother made them for me and my siblings when we were kids. Why? Because I saw them in a book and I really wanted to try them, but I had no idea how to make them. Do you know how? It's just sugar, water, and a mold. I think so, yes. Then you'll show me how to do it later? I can try. Do you promise? Yes. Well, hopefully we get a rooster mold somewhere. Anything in here though? See, but it's really interesting going through like some of the rooms, because it's like last episode or 2 episodes ago when everything was like all distorted and whatnot. You know, we were going into different rooms. I really have a feeling like a lot of this is like past events for Lyra, possibly Nika as well. And honestly, another weird theory that I have going on is there is a decent chance that Lyra wants to be Nika. Let me try to word that better. I think Lyra, when she was younger, you know, she didn't want to be who she is today. She wanted to get into a good career. She wanted a normal life. Clearly something was up with her mentally by seeing, you know, the body within, I guess, like the middle of like the road or whatever the kids were playing or siblings were playing in the snow. She was definitely seeing certain things. Definitely seemed like some sort of mental disorder or something that was going on with her. But Nika is almost like the exact opposite of her. You know, she's definitely outgoing, happy, maybe a little bit oblivious to a lot of things, but I don't know, like she seems a lot more cheerful. And it might be a thing that mentally she's going through all of this and being like, you know, I can't do this, I can't do that. And maybe like a different personality, or maybe who she wanted to be all this time is like, no, you can, you just gotta believe it. You can be this, you can be that. If you just believe and you work towards it hard enough. Now, of course, unfortunately, belief is not enough. You know, passion, all the other kind of words that you can have is not enough to make the goal happen. It never is enough. It's good to have motivation, passion, drive, however you want to word it. But sometimes things just don't work out for many different people. And sometimes you gotta go to plan C, D, F, G, and so on if, let's say, A and B never worked out. I don't know. Did you know decaying organic material is a great fertilizer for flowers? Definitely is true. I know for the for many people that get into like farming and whatnot, if I'm not mistaken, like they use like, what is it, manure, the waste of cows and other animals and whatnot, and they re-fertilize like land and whatnot. A lot of people do that for maybe like a flower garden, vegetable garden, farming, whatever it is that you're trying to like grow, pretty much. Like a lot of people do use that. And it's kind of like cool because like it goes back to what Nika was saying before, that, you know, it's like an indefinite cycle. Of course, you know, waste is not, you know, a living thing. Well, it kind of is, kind of isn't. If you want to like debate, let's say like the grass that is eaten by the cows is technically like a living thing, you know, I guess technically, yeah. Because like without that, you know, grass cannot regrow and etc, you know. Well, to be fair, it needs sunlight, rain, and all that. But, you know, having waste and whatnot helps, you know, flowers and other things grow as well. Same with trees and all. I think you get the point though. It's really interesting though, because like again, it goes back to the indefinite cycle. It's always a continuing cycle until the end of time. Really, really cool. That's not surprising, but I wonder where you learned the phrase like decaying organic material. And again, like it's not even like waste too, it's also with, animals that over time, decay within, the forest and whatnot. The earth at some point reclaims it. Of course, you have your birds, other animals that'll probably feast on it, but at some given point, the earth will reclaim it. It'll turn into grass, maybe some flowers, maybe it'll help nurture a tree or something. It's so cool how without death there cannot be life, and without life there cannot be death. You cannot have only one. You have to have both to allow the cycle to indefinitely continue. Really, really cool. I guess it's a little comforting to know that our corpse can sustain gardens for generations. Everything is connected. Your body rots into a bouquet, and a Venus flytrap is only a beautiful shade of green because of the insects that feed it. That connection isn't wrong, is it? It's not wrong for a flower to eat a body without giving your flesh. The world would turn lifeless. So honestly, that goes into like a really interesting like debate and topic that I don't know like how like I guess dark or messed up I want to get into. I'm not gonna go super like wild on it, but like let's give like a decent example. We were talking about it on a call like a week or so ago about some guy in like the 1980s 1990s. He loved bears, and if you look into the story, it's really sad, but life happens. But he really loved bears. I believe he was like in Yellowstone or something. Of course, he didn't listen to the rules. The wife was wanting to go back to the car and head on out. He was like, no, let me go out. Let me try one more time. And in the distance, he saw a brown bear or a grizzly bear with her cubs, like 2 to 3 cubs, whatever. And he got a little too close. He wanted to get some photos. He got the photos. But unfortunately, the bear noticed, charged, and that's where his story ended. It's so interesting how that works, because, a lot of people can be upset and whatnot, and they have every right to be upset. Somebody's father is now gone. But, with that event happening, the cubs, the mother bear, got nutrients, and they got to live another day. And I think that's kind of like where Nika is like coming from. Without life there cannot be death. Is it wrong for these events to happen? And it doesn't have to be with like humans. I'm not trying to be like, yay, cannibalism, it needs to happen, or yay, humans need to be eaten more. I'm not trying to like say that. I don't want that to happen to anybody's family or anybody's, loved one, a pet even. I mean, sometimes pets get eaten by wild animals all the time. I don't want anything like that happening, and I don't want that to happen to anybody, but it's something that does happen. And again, like Nika is saying, is this wrong? Is it wrong to go against the cycle? Like, in your mind, you grew up with all of this, and it's not, I'm not saying it's wrong, but when it does happen, you can be mad at it, but you can't fully say, we need to stop this. You can't. It's life. It has to happen. Whether you like it or not, it has to happen, and it's always going to continue forward, whether you do or don't like it. And again, you don't have to like it, you don't have to appreciate it, and I'm not saying everybody needs to like or dislike it. You see and you believe it how you want to see and believe it, but I don't know, I get it. I get where she's coming from. It's honestly just a really interesting cycle on how it all works. It's just really cool. Sorry for my little rant there. But she isn't wrong. Life would become lifeless without the cycle. That's your defense, I see. I guess a plant that eats flies is no more believable than a building that eats humans, right? That's the idea. So that might kind of like confirm, the teenagers that disappeared one day. They got eaten by the wall, I guess, or the home, the apartment, the complex, whatever. Her words are completely deranged, but I find them comforting somehow. I mean, most people, are not comfortable with those events happening. Most people don't experience, like a bear going after a loved one or any animal going after like a pet. Most people don't, but there are people that do go through those kind of things. But either way, like the concept of that, it seems odd to a person. They don't experience that, they don't live that. They go to work as, I don't know, Becky from Wendy's or Jonathan from Chase Bank, or I don't know, some guy that works in a factory that makes Hot Wheels. I don't know. They kind of just like live their own life, they do their own thing. It's not like you're out there, hunting animals or making food and like living day by day like that. Like we're not in like the caveman like era, is what I'm trying to like get at. So a lot of that is kind of, out of the norm for a lot of people, but it is a normal thing. And it most certainly does happen. Very interesting. I really like the discussions and topics that it kind of like goes into, because it really goes into some like really interesting and like deep questions. Very interesting. And again, not trying to like promote or say cannibalism's good, this is good, or pets being eaten is good and whatnot. I'm not saying that at all, but it's life and the events do unfortunately happen. Talon? What? Taitlin was lucky to be able to dream, sorry. I mean, can you imagine it? 400 meters of steel and glass towering over Petersburg and beaming messages on the clouds, and yet in the 1920s it seemed reasonable. When I started university, I thought I could be like him, dreaming up a utopian megastructures for a new era. You're still alive, Lyra. You still have time to become a part of something greater. And that kind of goes into like the earlier topic, a lot of people, being like negative on oneself and having no hope, saying I'm bad, I'm not good, blah 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 blah. It doesn't help anything. And I'm not trying to say, one day wake up and be like, I love me, I'm positive, I blah blah blah. Like it's a process, and it will take time to, alter the mind in a sense to be a much more better person or to be much more healthy minded overall. But I cannot stress it enough. No matter what is going on within your life, as long as you are willing to put in the time, the effort, the work, the everything into it, almost anything is possible and almost anything is achievable. And I know for Lyra, she said it a lot of the time, it's too late for me, it's not gonna work, I wanted to just, die by snowdrift and whatnot. But I cannot stress it enough to people that may want or just need to hear this. It's never too late. Whether you're 80 years old, well, at 80 years old, you're probably like retired and whatnot. Let me use a better example. You could be, 50 something years old, or 20 years old, or 40, 35, even 80. Let's put 90-year-olds. Why not? Anything is possible if you're willing to do it. Of course, many different events changes different things, but I truly do believe it comes down to how bad you want it. And again, sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes you got to go into a different lane, do something else, or something somewhat similar. Pretty much, again, it truly is never too late. You can always change things. You can always become somebody that you want to be. Whether, again, you want to be healthy, physically fit. I don't know, you want to stop drinking, whatever it is. You just got to take the steps now, today. A lot of people, a lot of the time, they go into it and be like, I'll start on New Year's, or I'll start next week. Next week is my resolution, or this Monday. It's like, no, start today. Just get it done, get on the process, start today. There is no waiting, there is none of that, and I'm not trying to, sound like one of those, motivational speakers that, want to take your money and whatnot. But it's like, if you're willing to do it next week, why not start today? Why not, instead of like a week later, start now? You're already 1 week ahead of changing yourself on whatever you want to change. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Either way, I maybe could have worded some things better, but the main thing is it's never too late. You can make something happen. Your dreams, your goals, your whatever can become, a reality if you're willing to put in the time and effort and just do what you have to do to get things done and to get things rolling and to get things going. Let's go. Oh, wow. This place is my secret hideout. Don't tell anybody about it, okay? Promise? Sure. But I guess with that, I think that'll be it for today's episode. Very interesting topics. And I really, really love the idea of this game. And I hope it kind of like pushes that idea and narrative more with like the concept of life and death. Because like it really is an interesting topic. I don't know. I don't think anyone's gonna really like listen to this point, but I don't know. I really do believe like in everybody's life at some given point, young or older, I think it's really important to meditate and self-reflect on yourself and to ask yourself certain questions about life and death, your goals in life, how's the relationship with your wife or girlfriend, boyfriend, going, or whatever you identify as, and so on. I think it really is important to dive into oneself and to really ask yourself really important questions and just, have, those kind of moments with yourself. I feel like I'm being repetitive. Let me stop there. Maybe I'll get more specific into it in another episode, but I'll stop there. Overall, it's never too late. You can make your dreams a reality, your goals a reality. You just gotta be willing to put in the time and effort. Again, nothing is truly ever too late. Thank you guys so much for watching, definitely do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Good morning.